handle watching millions of dollars disappear in seconds. This isn't for you. Because somewhere right now, there's someone sitting in front of a screen, staring at a number that just dropped so fast it doesn't even feel real anymore. And the worst part? No one is yelling. No one is panicking. No one is coming to help. Because in this world, silence doesn't mean safety. It means you're alone with your decision. And whatever happens next is on you. Most people think working at a hedge fund is about being smart. It's not. Intelligence is the entry ticket. Everyone here was the smartest person somewhere else. What actually matters is something much rarer. The ability to stay calm when everything you believed turns out to be wrong. And that's the part no one tells you before you walk. Starts simple. You're 20, underdressed or overdressed. You can't tell. Sitting in a room where everyone else looks like they've done this before. There are 8 interns. 2 offers. That's the only number that matters. No one says it out loud. But you feel it immediately. Every smile feels slightly calculated. Every conversation feels slightly competitive. You think your job is to build spreadsheets. Follow instructions. Prove you're smart. That's what everyone else is doing. And that's exactly why most of them lose. Because the real game isn't about impressing people is less than #0. 7# is greater than. It's about becoming useful before anyone realizes they need you. The interns who win don't talk the most. They don't try to dominate meetings. They quietly figure out what slows everyone else down and remove it. They anticipate. They deliver faster than expected. They send work that doesn't need to be fixed. And one day, without warning, someone stops checking their work. That's the moment they've already won. Even if no one has said it else, they make the same mistake. They try too hard. They build things no one asked for. They explain things no one questioned. They confuse complexity with value. And slowly, they disappear from the conversations that matter. Not because they're bad, but because they're not necessary. Then you get the offer. And for about a week, you feel like you made it. And then the reality hits. This isn't a job. It's a system. And your role in that system is simple. Produce output. Constantly. You go through companies the way machines process data. Fast. Repetitive. Endless is less than #0. 7# is greater than. You build models that take days. Sometimes weeks. And they get dismissed in minutes. No explanation. No feedback. Just next. At first, it feels brutal. Then it feels confusing. Then it starts to change you. Because you realize something most people never figure out. You're not being evaluated on whether you're right. You're being evaluated on how you react when you're wrong. And you will be wrong. A lot. Ideas you believed in completely get rejected instantly. Models you thought were solid get torn apart in seconds. And every time it happens, you have 2 options. Defend your ego, or upgrade your thinking. Most people choose the first. That's why they don't last as less than #0. 7# is greater than. The ones who stay start asking different questions. Not, why didn't they like it? But what did I miss? Not was I right, but why was I wrong? And slowly, something shifts. You stop guessing. You start seeing patterns. Not in the market, in yourself. Your biases. Your blind spots. The assumptions you didn't even realize you were making. Everything changes again. Because now, you're no longer supporting ideas. You're creating them. Real ones. Ideas that move money. You walk into a room after weeks of research. Pages of notes. Models that took everything you had to build. And none of it matters. Because the only question you get is this: why is the market wrong? That question destroys most people. Because they prepared everything. Except the only thing that matters. This game isn't about finding good companies. It's about finding mispricing. It's about seeing something others don't, and having the conviction to act on it before they do. And when you finally do, when your idea actually gets funded, that's when the pressure becomes real. Because now it's not theoretical anymore. Now there's a number attached to your thinking. Maybe $10 million, maybe $40 million, maybe more. And for the next few days or weeks, you live with it. You check the price constantly. You replay your assumptions. You question everything. And then one morning, you wake up, and the stock is down 18 fund Trump. No news. No warning. Just down. And in that moment is less than #0. 6.5 hash is greater than you feel something you've never felt before. Not fear of being wrong. Fear of not knowing if you're wrong. Because that's worse. Being wrong is fixable. Uncertainty isn't. This is where people break. Not because they lost money, but because they lost clarity. They panic. They cut too early. Or worse, they double down for the wrong reasons, trying to prove they were right instead of asking if they still are. The ones who survive learn one rule. You don't get paid for being right. You get paid for managing risk when you're wrong. And then, just when you think you understand the game, it evolves again. Now you're not just responsible for your ideas, you're responsible for other people's thinking. You manage analysts who are just as smart as you were is less than #0. 6.5 hash is greater than maybe smarter. And suddenly, your job isn't to be right. It's to make sure they don't make expensive mistakes where most high performers fail. Because they try to do everything themselves. They don't trust others. They micromanage. They burn out. Because they don't realize something critical. At this level, your value is no longer your output. It's your judgment. Your ability to filter good ideas from bad ones. Fast. Because one bad idea, at scale, isn't a mistake. It's a loss measured in millions. And then you reach the level everyone thinks they want. Control. Capital. Authority. You're the one making decisions now. No buffer. No safety net is less than #0. 7 hash is greater than you decide what to buy, what to sell, how much to risk. And this is where the illusion completely breaks. Because you realize something no one can teach you. A great idea can lose money. A bad idea can make money. And the difference isn't intelligence. It's timing. And size. Position sizing becomes everything. Not is this good, but how much do I believe this? Because even if you're right, if you size it wrong, it doesn't matter. And if you're wrong and size too big, it can destroy months or years in a single day. Some mornings, you wake up and you're up $1 million. Before you even check your phone, other mornings, you're down 2 million. Because something happened in another country while you were asleep. And no one cares. The market doesn't slow down. It doesn't give you time to react. It just moves. And you still have to decide, hold, or cut, add, or exit. Right now is less than #0. 7 hash is greater than. That's the pressure, not the hours, not the workload. The decisions, the constant, relentless requirement to choose without ever having perfect information. And the people who make it through all of this, the ones who stay, the ones who rise, they all have one thing in common. It's not intelligence. It's not work ethic. It's something much harder to see. They don't break. When they're wrong, they adjust. Because in this world, being wrong is guaranteed. Losing control isn't. And at the very top, after years of this, after wins and losses and decisions that most people will never experience, you realize something that changes everything. This was never about money. Money was just the scoreboard. The real game was always psychological. Your ability to think clearly under pressure. Your ability to act without certainty. Your ability to sit there, staring at a screen that says, you just lost more than most people will ever make in their lifetime, is less than #0. 6-5 hash is greater than and still make a rational decision about what to do next. Because the market doesn't reward intelligence. It doesn't reward effort. It rewards one thing: the ability to stay stable when everything else is not. Right now, there's someone just starting this journey, looking at charts, reading reports, thinking this is about making money. They have no idea what's waiting for them. No idea how much this will test them, how much it will change them, how many times it will force them to question everything they thought they knew. But if they stay, if they learn, if they stop reacting and start thinking, then one day they'll understand the truth. This was never a career. It was a test. And most people fail long before they even realize they're in it.